Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to show some quick mods that I've done on my 130X. Uh, basically, I was having a lot of problems with my tail case. Kept on breaking. Um, basically, my tail case, like this right over here, this would just snap off. This whole bracket here happened to me like 6 times. Um, I don't know if that was due because the tail was vibrating or whatnot, but it did. So I got frustrated. I finally went ahead and I bought the Extreme tail case. So this is for the 4G6 or the V120, the wall carrier V120. This tail case fits on the tail boom perfectly. Um, there is some modding that needs to be done. Uh, the way that I did it was, let's see if you guys can see this. Let me just adjust this here. Okay. So what I did is really not that much modding that's involved. Basically, obviously you guys can see it right away. I flipped the gear to this side because on the Walkera, the 4G6 or the V120, they run their gears on this side. So the tail case naturally has more space on this side to fit a gear. If you try to fit a gear on this side, it's not going to fit. It's just going to be way too tight. So I had to go with the gear on this side. There's no modding to this gear. This D gear stays the same. And the C gear, you just want to take the C gear, and on the back of the C gear there's like that little tiny nipple. So you don't want to take too much of that nipple down, but just take a take the C gear, get a nail file and just hold the C gear and just rub it across the nail file. Just shave down a little bit, a couple of hairs. That's the only mounting you have to do in terms of the gears. The shaft, this shaft right here, that same thing. Take it on top of a nail file, just rub it a couple of times, trial and error. A couple of times, fit it, a couple of times, fit it. Mine was just a couple of hairs that had to come down, but you want to take it slow and make sure you don't take off too much. Okay, so the flange bearings. So there's a flange bearing here, there's a flange bearing here. Well, the flange bearing on this side has to be flipped out. So usually the flange goes on the inside here. What I did was I took the bearing out and I put it in this way with the flange on the outside. Okay. So you get the flange on the outside here, which gave me more room to fit this gear. On this flange bearing, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. Yeah, you will. Okay. On this flange bearing, you'll probably be able to see that on the inside in here, I had to take that against the nail file too, and I shaved down that part of the flange that's closest to the C gear. So this whole side of the flange is normal, but the side closest to the gear, you just want to shave that down. So basically all I did for this mod, guys, is I took the C gear, shaved that little nipple down, tiniest bit. I shaved this shaft down a tiny bit. I'm talking hairs. This flange right here had to shave down the inside of the flange that's next to the gear, so the teeth on the gears, they didn't hit, but it was close enough where it's worth shaving it down a little bit. Now this part here, this little collar, instead of putting it on where the nipple goes on the inside, obviously I flipped it this way, so the nipple's on the outside. And then I had an extra collar. This collar here, let me show you that. This collar here is the same collar as this one, but I took this, and I filed this down too. And basically you have to do that because now you got the C gear, you got the D gear all the way on this side, okay, and the D gear is supposed to be stopped right here. The shaft's got like basically the shaft can only be pushed in so far because of the way the shaft is designed. It will lock into the D gear, but because we're putting the D gear on this side, we have to find a way to eliminate this shaft from pushing in. So I put a collar here to lock it in place. It's locked on this side. It's not going anywhere. This is, I mean, there's zero, I'm talking like totally zero play in this tail. It's pretty sweet. Now, once you did all that, which sounds like a whole lot, but really, guys, it's not a lot. Little shave, little shave, little shave, and you got this whole tail together. Now once you got the tail together, if you guys didn't know, you flip a gear from this side to this side, the whole tail is going to spin the opposite direction. So on a normal helicopter, you would just go to your transmitter or you'd go to your gyro and you would reverse the gyro. Okay, you can't do that on this type of helicopter with the way the setup is. You can't reverse the gyro. Okay, so what you do is you reverse your tail blades. You can see my tail blades. See how the screw on my tail blade is on this side? All I did was take my tail blade, flip it around. See that? And so you'll have to take out these links, and you have to flip the links over, and you have to flip the blade grips over. Very simple, but it's got to be done. Once you do all that, I got zero play back here. I've had probably about 30 flights on this so far. The tail is rock solid. A lot of guys are actually thinking about doing this anyway. If you look at most of your bigger birds, this is the way the gears are set up. Gears are like this. You know, gear on this side and a gear on this side. You got a line 450, you got a 600, 500. All my bigger helicopters are set up this way. So I was happy to actually flip this around this way. So just so you can see, I mean, it's got zero play and it spins freely. I mean, the gear mesh is absolutely beautiful. Okay, now I did all this work, and you know, there's no modding for me from here on out. Like if I had to, let's say I had a bad crash and somehow I stripped these gears, you take this apart. I mean, these two screws come off, the whole tail slides out, and this gear I didn't mod at all anyway, so you just change that gear, and this gear back here, well, I'm just going to take it, I'm going to slide it across the nail file real quick, just get that nipple down a tiny bit, and boom, pop it on, and I'm back to flying. It's just the original modding is, you know, could take about a good 40 minutes. It took me a lot longer to figure all this out, but now I'm telling you guys, it shouldn't take you long at all. Besides that, I got this tail fin. I thought that was cool. I got that from the V120. It's actually got a square shape. It just slides on. So you just slide it into place, and it's very cool. It's plastic, so I don't think it's going to break. You won't lose it in a crash. Obviously, I extended my tail boom supports. I took a control guide. See this control guide here? I took that and I modded, you know, I basically cut it down to size and made an extra one here and just glued that to the tail boom. So looks a lot more like a bigger bird this way, you know, tail boom all the way out to here. I put the Trex 250 carbon fin, and I also took a bunch of flat carbon rod and I bulked this whole tail up. See, I just took a piece of flat rod, or I guess it's not flat rod, it's just flat carbon fiber, cut it to size, and I did that all around this tail. And I beefed it all up. And I put one across this whole piece here. You can't even tell that I modded it. I mean, it looks pretty standard. It looks factory. But that's it, guys.